Callahan. With you can call me Killer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I was doing another interview.
No, man, it's great to have.
What's up, buddy?
We have you.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, what's up, Mike? How you doing, buddy?
Good. We kind of sound the same today. I'm a little hoarse.
Oh, that sucks, man.
Yeah.
Mike, the background.
Yes, sir.
Look at the background, man.
It looks sick, dog. Hell yeah.
Yes, amazing. And by the way, before this starts, when I remember when we interviewed you, Mike, and later this channel was, and later there, the first, you were the first interviewed, by the way.
Yeah.
Remember that I wasn't even the translator. I was invited. Man, I was so surprised even for the answers because I know little about your hardcore background. Then I realized, and man, now seeing you what you had achievement and all these
dog.
2 years. No, for me, it's
hey,
great
dog.
to have you.
We're all in this together, my friends. We're all in this together. You guys have been killing it too. You guys doing a lot of shows.
Bravo. And you were the first one, man.
Yep.
And it was great glad that having Michael here.
Yeah.
I know Michael, we want to speak more today, but I will let you with my friends. They got questions, I got questions too, but go ahead, John.
No, como dato curioso antes de comenzar, Michael fue el número 158 del canal, así que qué más maravilla que esa.
By the great thing is that Michael was the interviewed number 158. You're the one that, oh my God, no. Amazing. Hey, John dijo que estamos killing, matando.
Yeah, Devil's Ice. That's right. Yeah, it's sick.
See it, man. No.
It's been a good journey, friends. It's really good to see you guys. I'm glad you guys are doing really good. Michael, you too. You're kicking ass. Great on that Deadline story, dog.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And you too, man. You as well. Staying busy, man. I watch everything you do, and you're doing it great. And we're going to work again soon.
Oh, yeah, man. Look, it was an honor to work with you. That's honestly some of my favorite stuff. It was to work with you, and really, it gave me a chance to act. Just act, not use my physicality, not use my anything. And I want to thank you for that and be able to work with Mel Novak.
More than welcome, brother. You know, everybody, even the distributors, they couldn't get away from your guys' chemistry. That was all talked about when the movie sold, was that what chemistry you guys had on screen. It was incredible. And I could only direct so much, but it's you guys that brought those characters to life, and I mean, just made it as powerful as it was.
Yeah, it was honestly an honor to work with Novak, and then have him spit his, like stick, do his stick on me was an honor. And if I was smart, I would have saved that match.
Yeah, I know, it's great. Hit you right on top of the head. And I said, wow, the old guy still has a good aim.
Yeah. It's an honor. Like I said, I knew about your work for a while, Michael. We've been talking. You and I had talked, because it was that zombie thing. I was trying to get away and drive up there to Fresno to be in, but something else got booked or whatever. Because at that time I was early into acting. Yeah. And I started watching your stuff and was really into it. And you were working with an actor. He's bald.
Wainwright, Michael Wainwright.
Yeah, Michael Wainwright. I met with him, and he's a really good actor. Yeah. And you had done stuff with him, so I really got in and started researching you. Now, like I said, it was an honor to work with you on this film. And I remember you hit me up, it's the wraparound. You're kind of late. I was like, sick. You know what I'm saying?
I keep an eye on actors. I always tell them, like, when I talk to them, I'll research them, right away. If someone sends me a link to their IMDb, and if I can stream their movies or grab a DVD, I always do people's work, especially when they reach out or they talk to me. They have a casual conversation with me and say, hey, you know, I watched you. So I do the same in return. And I remember, you know, watching some of your films, and I think you sent me a short. It was a while back. I mean, it was before we started working together. You sent me a link to a short. And I thought, I mean, I started writing this part for Callan because the way you know, sounded and the way you moved. And I thought to myself, okay, well, I'm not going to have to need him to, you know, beat nobody up or anything, but I need that menacing, bassy voice to carry like this whole, you know, where you're just this big lion and you were the guy, you were the guy. And I always tell people, you know, sometimes where I'm like, yes, I'm down to you, but I never blow smoke. I just know that when the part comes, I'll come call it. Dude, I got a part. It's like perfect for you. And so I always tell after that, sometimes Jesus is kind of sitting on his ass for 2 years. He hasn't called me, but it's like that time and that moment when I'm like, boom, I know the part for Mike Ferguson. He's gonna play and he's gonna knock it out of the park. I already have it custom made for you. And I don't know, man, I'm glad you showed up to play. You played hard, man. You played your A game. And that means a lot, man. That means a lot. You know, you and Mel came and you know, you had your A game, and it was amazing. You know, like I said, to this day, when people you know, they contact me or they talk about the movie, they always talk about the prison scenes, and they're like, man, you know, like Mel and Mike are so powerful together, and the way it ends and everything like that. So, man, it was an honor to direct you as well as you. It's mutual.
I think the signal from Michael is
experiencing some troubles.
But I will rob this space from my friend John. For me, we will let you talk, man, because everything that Michael is saying, I couldn't agree more, man. Your acting here is amazing, man, because what I love about this movie, it was like an hour 13, but for me it was for me, I feel like your character listening to the stories of men, and that ending I will talk about the end, don't worry, but man, how was for you, and that would be my first question, how did you build this character, man? Amazing acting, man. I
built this character. So I don't know if you know about Callahan. So the thing about Callahan is he's a mass child killer. Is I've killed a lot of children. And that's what I'm doing in prison. This was what Michael said was my motivation. So knowing that Mel is a Christian, I created my character that my mother was a prostitute. My sister was a prostitute. My mother started making my 10-year-old sister prostitute. So I murdered them both. They were the first murders, so they'd go to heaven with pure souls. Now, I've realized that if you murder these children, or these people, once they've been deflowered, that it doesn't make them a pure soul. So I have to kill children in order so their souls can go to heaven. So if I see families that are doing, that was the character I built for Callahan. I thought I was doing something right. You know what I'm saying? And that's really who I built for Callahan, was how do you make this person interesting? And that's what I built for Callahan was, look, he believes in what he did. He's seen a lot of shit. No matter what, he's seen it all, or he thinks, and he's dead inside. And this little old man wakes him up for a minute just to take it all away again. It was an honor to do that roller coaster on this film. It really was.
And
you know, and building a completely unlikable character and making him kind of likable.
No, and it's crazy because he listened to these stories. By the way, my favorites are the second one, the one of the chili burger, and the one with the black and white.
Yeah.
But and I was like, why I feel that he has such he has so much violence because it was like, oh, that's funny, and the stories getting bigger in blood
and darker. Yeah, getting darker as it came time. It was really really well directed, really well put together.
No, in fact, when the first time we interviewed with Michael, I had saw one of his short films. Jhon has saw one of his short films, and I keep amazed because Michael, you keep doing right the twist. I tell you about that you nail it every time with the twist, and man, I will let my friend Jhon. No, thanks to you, man. For me, man, when I saw you in the interview, I started to research more about your career, man. And every time I see that you appear in these music videos, these short films, I must. He's our man. Mike is our man, and of course the same with Michael. And Jhon asked me the favor to do this.
Yeah,
he said that people like Larry Hankin, Michael Chamus Wiles, and Tom Holland has shown all the things that they saw the interviews that we made to you. So imagine, man, a guy like Tom Holland that created Chucky, or the amazing Larry Hankin, or Michael Chamus Wiles, seeing the stuff that you made. Jhon, ya les dije, te dejo a ti.
I love you guys, man.
Oh, we love you. It's mutual, man. It's mutual.
My pleasure. De hecho, yo quisiera preguntarle a Michael, porque yo sé que esta película parece como, no es un musical, pero si me refiero a la ambientación por la colorización, es que se ve, sobre todo a Menova y Mike, como si estuvieran en la prisión, como estilo de las primeras películas que hacía, por ejemplo, Elvis, todo eso, por la manera de exacto, como musical de Broadway. Entonces yo quisiera preguntarle, ¿será que alguna vez esta película se puede formalizar como a un estilo de obra al estilo Broadway? Pero claro que esta vez será como con Mike, o será también como con más estilos, porque es algo así de esa ambientación.
Déjame adaptar la pregunta, que quería hacer algo así similar. Okay, this is an interesting question from Jhon. I agree, and I will add something. This is for Michael. Michael, we saw like a theatrical ambientation, if we can say that, for the colorization, for all the things of the jail. It feels sometimes like a play, and of course these two great actors are talking. This is very theatrical. Had you thought somehow, this is a crazy question, but I'm accepted, later adapt this material to a theater, and maybe somehow with, I know Darren Lewis Boseman did it with their musicals, the terror musicals, do it like in a kind of musical or in a play, because it's very theatrical, man. I mean, I could listen to the stories even with the characters talking, and my favorite stories are the one. In fact, I love the violence, but I love the dialogues in everyone. Tell us, man.
All right, I wish I had a better voice, but I'm gonna tell you guys, it's kind of a funny story. I was talking to a woman. Well, I was dating a woman that was older than me when I was about 21. Yeah. And, you know, she was very cultured and well-traveled. And she goes, I want to take you out to dinner, and I want to take you to a play. So I'm like, I'm going to take you to a show. She goes, I'm going to take you to a show. So I thought she meant movies, you know? So we went to this fancy restaurant, and we're sitting there, and I'm like, well, what show are we going to go see? You know, what movie? I thought we were going to go see a movie. And she goes, oh, no, we're going to a play. And I go, we're going to a play. She goes, yeah, we're going to go to this theater that's down the street right here, and we're going to go watch a play. And I'm like, well, what are we going to go see? And she goes, Les Miserables. And I said, oh, really? I go, what's that about? And she goes, it's about the French Revolution. And I just went like, you know, I was like, great. I'm going to be sitting there yawning all night. And when I first got into the theater and the lights went out and they show the lead character walking as he gets out of prison, and he's walking on this rotating cobblestone floor in the middle of the theater, and the spotlight's on him, and you're watching this live act in front of you where there's no mistakes. You can't make a mistake. They're singing, they're dancing, they're killing each other on stage, and they can't screw up. And to me, it was amazing. So anytime I could take a movie and add some kind of theatrical theme to it, or like the way we shot the prison scene, we could have done it a bunch of different ways. But for me, it's interesting that you point that out, because that's that part of me that likes theatrical theater, that says, look, with darkness and shadows and tricks, we can make a corner look like a giant penitentiary. And
it was, guys, it was a big warehouse. We shot it.
Yeah.
So it was just a giant empty warehouse, and literally there were just bars that were wood, but it's not, and literally it looks sick. Like it looks like it's a corner of a prison. It was really well built and designed and thought out for the camera agents.
Yeah, and we only built 3 sets of bars. So when you see the guy pushing the books, all we're doing is recycling that whole little set that's only like probably about 8-10 feet long.
Yeah. So everything we're doing is just imagination.
Yeah. So that would be interesting, because I've watched the Killer Callahan Meets a Monster. I watched it on its own, and it's a solid 15-minute short on its own.
Really?
So I mean, man, if there's ever like a revival where they want to do a stage show, I definitely pull Mel and Mike back in.
Yeah,
and,
totally in.
If they want to pay a cover charge, we'll do it, right, Mike?
Yeah, totally in. Yeah.
You can bet your ass, man. I will watch it.
All right,
watch it in a play. John, cuando te traduzca, dale.
Oh, también yo quiero preguntarle a Mike, porque mira, la manera como esta Nova con Mike hablando entre los barrotes, eso me suena como a la tipo de películas que son bastante, que son de psiquiatría. Esas son las que utilizan, por ejemplo, a las personas para guiarse, cómo actúan de pronto las personas, si han cometido o no, pues el acto. Entonces yo quisiera preguntarle cómo ha podido usted poder gran parte evolucionar o trascender esa parte de cómo a veces la psicología puede transmitir un poco como de cambios, en el que se piensa que la persona que está entre las rejas es el culpable, pero resulta siendo la otra persona. No es spoiler.
Y es una buena pregunta, porque habló de eso, pero se puede profundizar. Okay, Mike, without giving spoilers, I know that you told something about this. Of course, I will translate this to John. But John wanna like get deeper in the psychological aspect. Yes. Because you told me, and for me it's amazing, that you kind of humanize this monster.
Yeah.
But without giving spoilers, yes, how this psychological aspect can make out to the audience, oh man, who is the monster here? Who is of course, talking about the amazing conversation these characters got, because there is a point and we feel, oh man, like, without spoiling, sometimes when that phrase, when they say that the killer become the
prey.
Yes.
Yeah. Or here's another way to look at it. If I never told you what I was or what I did, it's still interesting to look at, because the man is the monster. It doesn't matter how you look at it. It's still really clever and smart. It works either way. Me with the backstory, without, I mean, it literally, because some of the advertising they've talked about, I'm a child killer, some they didn't. So it gives a very different perspectives. I think it still sells, though. I think it works no matter what. And you know what I'm saying? It just really works. Two people talking, one that happens to be a child killer. But it's interesting. And it was honor, honestly. Like, hell yeah, if Mel wanted to come, yeah, we could do some more stuff. Yeah, 1000% in. I think Callahan has more of a story to tell, I'll be honest with you.
I think so too.
I think there's more to Callahan's story that hasn't been told, that, you know, and in discussing my backstory, maybe, you know, it's got a kind of a frailty feel to it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, hey, it's a pitch, and we'll see how this movie does. You know what I'm saying? Everything, it seems right now like Rising's doing really well. I think we won't be able to see the numbers for 3 or 4 months, but we can see how the IMDb flows and social media and views on. You can see how a movie's doing pretty quick. within a month or two, you know. But I think this one's going to do good. It really is good. All the stories are tight. It really tells a good story. Mel Novak is convincing as shit. You've got really great actors. It's visually cool as shit when it opens up. You know what I'm saying? How cool is that? Whole prison and boom, boom, guy gets electrocuted. Sick. You know what I'm saying? There I am smoking my cigarette. Not batting a fucking eyelash. That's
Right.
sick. Yeah, and it's got really good poster art, which will be great, especially for foreign sales. Americans doing good too, you know what I'm saying? But that's really cool poster art.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think it really, yeah. This is me and the monster. And me and the monster on there. That's sick. I blew one up. Have you blown one up yet?
Oh no, I gotta get me one for this wall here. You know what's interesting is some people were suggesting, well, I don't know if that's gonna, like when the still of you came out of you laying in the bed, I
Yeah.
kind of for some reason knew when we shot the way we shot that, I
Yeah.
kind of knew it's gonna be an iconic shot,
Yeah.
And some people thought that may not be flattering, you're kind of shooting Mike as he's laying on his back. But
Yeah, who
for
gives a
some-
fuck?
Yeah, but I kind of knew for some reason that image for some reason was going to stick in people's minds, or it was gonna be very, it was going to be eye catching, and,
Yeah.
and I mean, look, it's it's all over the posters, and
Yeah.
it shows you that shot, that chosen shot, it really works for you, and it works for the sales of it, for
The sales of the video too, I think. I think honestly, good poster art's really important. I mean, look at Amityville Uprising behind me.
Yeah,
That's
an awesome
sick.
poster. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's got a great poster, and that really helps with sales, especially with indie films.
oh
or,
yeah.
or whatever it is, especially with streaming now and stuff like that. And it's poster art is important. Like I saw the last American Horror Show, I bought it on Prime. It's sick. I clicked on it. I bought it. I own that. I own what else? I have Amityville. I bought too. I bought the DVD, but then I made 60 T-shirts of the T-shirt. I'm keeping those.
Nice.
Lionsgate didn't. Lionsgate's okay with that.
Oh, good, cool. That's
Yeah, I
awesome.
made posters. I made these. These never came out.
Oh,
And I made those and had people sign them for me that were in the cast. And look, I'm going to have those at conventions. Lionsgate ain't going to get mad at me. You know what I'm saying? It's Lionsgate. And so, yeah, and that's just nice stuff. Like when I was a kid, when I went to horror movies or when I went to conventions, I wanted to bring stuff like that home. You know what I'm saying? And that, and now I'm doing the movies that I've got those iconic things from, you know what I'm saying? It's amazing. I remember you sent me lobby cards, Michael. And
Yeah.
I'm so thankful for those. That picture with a cross on my head.
Yeah.
That's the merchandise I'm going to sell from my lobby card. You know what I'm saying? I'll cut you in, Mike. But I'm not even doing conventions yet. But that's really, you know what I'm saying? I've been talking to some of the old leather faces and people like that. And it's really cool to keep connected and work with the film community up close and the fans.
Definitely. I know you're coming up north too to work with a few things here, people out here, and that's cool, man. I think that's really that's really cool for you to come out here and a little taste of Hollywood over here too.
Well, no, Freddie Falcon, I've been wanting to work with him for a while. I'm working on Vengeance with him,
Awesome.
and I was just talking to him earlier today. I'm really excited. I've got a great character in with a really great cast, like people all doing something. And I'm not who you think I am in this movie. I won't go any further, but I'm not who you think I am. I mean, I kind of am, but I'm not. And it's a really good twist, this movie. Maybe I shouldn't even said that. I'm sorry. But Freddie Falcon, Danny Falcon, Falcon Pictures. I probably screwed that up a little stoned.
Well, you're in good hands. They're great people. Have great company.
You guys in the Central Valley and up have really good film community. Like I filmed all the way up, and it's refreshing sometimes getting out of Hollywood, which I like Hollywood. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
but it's a little more like it's a little more chill, a little more relaxed, and it's Hollywood's crazy right now, and it all depends on what set you're on, and yeah, but no, it's really good to work with everybody up north.
In fact, John was telling me that yes, he saw the how do you say the poster
Yeah,
and he said yes, amazing. I wanna even hang it on my room. In fact, he's telling me something. He got the DVD from the Devil's Highs, but in his laptop, at the side of his laptop.
yeah.
And I want to say something, and you mentioned it, Mike and Michael. What I love about the first shot, it reminds me like these horror movies from the 90s. And sometimes they started with the big jail. And man, I always say it. I always say kudos to Midnight Releasing because I saw some of the movies that they had put out like yours, and man, never disappoint me. For me, it's like a revival from I don't know if I can call it indie, but for me it's like a revival, man. We were having a beautiful conversation in which Michael was telling us that their heroes were all these amazing people like Charles Band, like and I was telling him that when in this channel we interviewed Norbert Weiser, I tell to Robert that yes, I love you in Schindler's List and these movies, but I also love you in Arcade and all the Charles Band movies.
Yeah.
And I was telling, and I will tell my friend John when I translate, that I love that a young man from Colombia is interviewing all this new generation, my friend Michael, James Balsamo, Dustin, and that he also found directors from that age, like Bob Williams, the one from SIP, because I don't call these neither B movies or indie movies. No, I call it like passion projects, man.
Passion projects, exactly.
It's passion projects, man.
Yeah. And that's what, most of what I'm doing now, I'm able to make a living. Like all I do is act. I don't do anything else. I pretty much, I was tattooing for like a month last year. And I've been able to be blessed with being able to do what I like and do all these movies that do. Most of the movies I do are like set in a timepiece. There's Death Squad. That's very much a 1980s soap opera, horror, zombie thing. And then if you look at Amityville Uprising, that's a 1980s zombie movie. That is a 1980s, 90s, 80s. But that's the genre I really dig, and I dig that. Look, I'm wearing a Conan shirt, man. And that's my vibe is the 80s and 90s, and I see that really making a comeback. Look, Mel Gibson is awesome again, doing some crazy. If you watch that Santa Claus movie he did, he stole my whole shtick, but he's back. And because he's a great actor, and no matter what he does, he's always going to be weird. Whatever, we're actors, we're weird. Look at Kurt Russell, one of my favorite actors. I mean, he's been in everything. He's my hero. He's science fiction, action. It doesn't matter. He is the man. And Bruce Campbell's a big hero of mine. So it all comes back that culty like vibe, and I see Hollywood. Well, not even Hollywood, because now these smaller movies, like it used to, like Evil Dead got the highest, platform. They got a movie there. You know what I'm saying? Indie film. They got their movie at the highest thing. Sam Raimi, an amazing guy. And Peter Jackson, if you look at Dead Alive and all his films, and he's still, he did what his passions were these passion projects. We're making, the rat fucking monster or whatever that changed everybody to zombies. And this is what I watched growing up as a kid, and there's a real market for that again. I kind of look like I'm from that time period, just a little more fucked up. So, yes. And so it's really nice, with acting and with directors like this, who he gets it. He loves the genre. A writer, director, he loves the genre. And that's why I want to work with people who love the genre. And I've worked with a lot of directors, and they all have very different styles. And it was honestly a blessing. We had a meeting. We talked about our character development. We had a dinner. He bought us before we filmed it, and we discussed it. And he loved what I did with it. Mel he's a piece of shit child. I was like, no, I never touch him. I don't touch kids, Mel. It's not my character. I'm trying to save them. And so it gave something that he could be still at the end. And we really did it. I got to work with Mel Novak. I think to be honest, is some of his finest work in years, and some of my finest work in years. To be completely honest with you, it was honest. There's nothing separating. It's just you, me, and him talking. And I want to thank Michael again for that opportunity. It's one of the most amazing things in my career I've done so far. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I appreciate that. I feel that. Thank you, Mike, because you guys were awesome. I couldn't have cast. There's no other people I would cast for that. If I could do it again, it would be you guys again.
Yeah.
Because no one could fit that puzzle piece like you guys did.
Yeah.
And make it work.
It was honestly a blessing, and I'm glad that we have that forever in film. And now we've got the same avenues of distribution as those movies like Evil Dead did. But now we just got to talk about it a little bit more. The traditional rollouts aren't the way they are. Streaming has taken over the world, and this movie is going to do amazing in foreign. You know what I'm saying? America will do great too. But I think really where our market on this movie is going to be foreign, to be honest, which I love it, because the world market is the market.
Yes, that is true. Very true.
And there's no reason to think small when, I shot Death Squad, we filmed in Armenia, and Amityville Uprising. I just shot, I had a German metal photographer come to a photo shoot with me the other day. And he said that Rising's big in Germany. I'm like, sexy. You know what I'm saying? That's great, because Germany's a great horror place. And I would love to go to a convention there. So anybody in Germany, let me know. And Colombia too, look. You know what I'm saying? If you guys have a horror convention, you let me know. Because that's why I want to start meeting the fans and stuff like that. And I was just at Comic-Con, and that was amazing. I bought this shirt there. I'm a fan too. So I came 3 hours early and walked around the whole place. Then I did the panel for a science fiction film I'm doing. But I want to get back where it's all horror. Like, I love Comic-Con, don't get me wrong. It's an amazing place. But a horror movie convention. And I've been talking to a couple of people. I'm going to say it. Look, I've been working with Thomas Churchill. We're putting together a horror movie convention coming in. I'm going to do one here in California someplace. And because I think I used to do tattoo conventions. So I'm really into horror. My whole life's been horror. Why wouldn't I get into doing a horror convention and a collector's show? And so we're working on that right now. I was trying to push it for this year, but it might be next year. And we want to do a big reunion of some really cool horror people that hasn't really been done yet. So we're got those feelers out right now, looking for locations. So
cool. That sounds awesome.
I'm so
sad because
Michael.
All right, sounds good.
I'm so sad because sometimes the bigger events in Colombia, they're made on Bogota. And in fact, there is a Comic-Con in Bogota. But Mike and Michael, one of my dreams is to kind of achieve this one, some of this type of events in Cucuta. It's a smaller city, but we're starting. You won't believe me. Now we got like a horror themed movie festival in this small city. We were like, wow, because this city is small, man. We didn't even got movie schools, but we got crazy people like John making movies. For me, it's like great.
And keep it up.
Yeah, keep it up, guys.
Going. Thank you. And it's crazy, Mike, because yes, you mentioned Germany, but Colombia is crazy for some reason. When, like I say, when John invites me and I didn't even know about the channel and I got the luck to talk to you, I told to my friends, because here all the things of the tattoos and the hardcore and the metal. In fact, I'm wearing a I mean, this is like an homage from the movie.
Yeah.
Look at this monster like a Tulu monster for one of the movies. This is from a band called Son of Parasite from one of my friends. I told you about what you told me that you met Kurbalu and all these things. It was like, what? It's crazy because you can came here in Colombia. You know that here we don't got a movie industry, so every director makes projects about passion, man. And if you can or you maintain, and I hope, in fact, I will say, I don't promise anything, but I will send this to the people that is making this horror festival. I hope they call you. If they don't call you, it's okay. It's not my fault. But the thing is, man, yes, it's like the call is getting bigger, and here we are crazy. It's fun. It's crazy. There will be like a tattoo festival in Bogota that is now have become like a metal festival. I think Ginger will come. I was like, what?
Yeah, Ginger's huge. They're one of the biggest bands in the world right now. So that's sick. Look, yes. Colombia's always had stuff going on. That's what I want to travel the world more. You know what I'm saying? I want to film more stuff around the world. I want to see stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I always make jokes. I'm closer to death than I am life. And that's true. Look, I look cool and shit like that, but I'm an older guy. I want to see some shit and do everything, cross off the bucket list now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got many more years to keep doing it, you know? And so, yeah, no, I think I'll probably end up in Colombia sooner than later. You know what I'm saying? I've been striking stuff off pretty regularly.
Yes. No, I will talk to my friend John. Tranquilo, John, se lo dije, aunque no mencioné el festival. John is saying, it's somehow I managed to get the participation of this movie here in my city, and they got the money to bring you here. Yeah. And we had to make something with the crew.
I'm totally in. Listen, I will travel anywhere, anytime. I got a great passport. I can get a visa. I'm not a lunatic. I mean, I can be, but that's a whole different story. And but yeah, I'm totally down, man. Look, I like to create. If I'm not on set or I'm not making something, I feel like I'm failing. I used to have a very stable life, like married to kids. That all changed, right at around COVID. And so I dived 1,000% into my passion, which was making movies and television and content, and just having, exploring that whole artistic side on a different level, not just tattooing. It was a gift almost. And, thank you to my ex. And, but it was almost a gift. It really focused me. I didn't go lunatic, have 100 girlfriends, become an alcoholic. I just went full bore into movies. And I'm continuing to do that you got to keep positive, because every movie or television or whatever your project you're doing is challenging. And it's whether it be money, whether it be just manpower, whatever. As an actor, I can't tell you, I've done something to turn around and held the light for somebody. You know what I'm saying? An eye light, you know what I'm saying? To make them look cool or whatever, or help hold the boom pole. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure this movie comes out sick. I want to make sure this is the dopest thing I've ever seen. So if I can help out, I try to. And, I'm starting to see sets where I'm not having to do that as much anymore. But I'm still ready to do it. I don't care. I want to make sure the movie gets done. So many times there's so many people that want to make movies out there and they never see the light of day and they get finished. And I want to make sure that every movie I do gets out there. Devil's Heist. You know what I'm saying? I directed the last portion of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's my real, I want to direct. I think I could connect with actors really well. And I think I want to direct. I've done every position, first AD, second, I've run second unit. I think I've been looking at a lot of different teams and things like that, working with a lot of different teams. So I really want to direct something. And I think I'm going to next year is make that as my goal and try to get funding for that. And really, I think I don't even want to act in it. I don't want to act in it at all. I want to hire actors, and I want to do that, and have somebody cast and like traditional. And yeah, I don't need. I want to make something cool.
No, and in fact, our friend Eric Anthony Russo tell us about your adventure in Run Rabbit Run, and I was like, yes, we need my directed. But before we show the trailer and do the, let me tell you something to Michael.
Yeah.
In your own words, because you tell me that yes, you like to fulfill your passion. I tell him to Michael the last time, because I was like, man, when I knew about him before the interview, and I saw many times ago, even without knowing about the interview, I saw his short film dealings, and I was like, yes, I was like doing some kind of zapping, and man, for me it was like, this is a very well-made short film, and he's showing it for free. And I was like, what? Because it's amazing.
Yeah.
I love this one. I'm here. I'm like a curator from movie festival. So I watch like, in my job, like hundreds of short films every year. Yeah. So I see shitty short films and really cool short films. Yeah. It was amazing. And for me, that kind of passion, it was like, yes, I show it. I don't care about the money. I was like, wow. Man, for me, and I always say to my friend John, I always revisit the interviews, and we know that we had interviewed people with big profiles, but I always come back to the interview. So you guys, we are going to show the trailer, and I know John got a final question, but like always, man, thank you. No, we're friends. No.
Oh, of course, always.
We love you guys. We appreciate you, and thank you so much for helping get us even farther in the world. And we appreciate you for being fans. And we appreciate you supporting, just like we support you.
That's correct. Yeah.
Thank you, Captain Capitan. Now we are going to show the trailer. John, por favor.
And I offer you some reading material to help pass the time.
Can't read, old man. Push on.
Tell you what I can do. I can read your book. Wouldn't you like to escape?
Yeah. Better believe I would.
Has anywhere a missing girl?
You got something scary?
Terror is what he sees.
Yeah, I like a good scary story.
We have a problem here.
There's a whole lot going on and nothing to go on.
You okay, dude? I'm not sure.
Can't be the good old cannibal story.
Now, this final tale of horror is not written in any book. It's one I created on my own. I do hope this evening of macabre has eased your tension and allowed you a bit of escapism.
People call me Callahan, but you can call me Killer.
Y sonoro.
John, sé que tienes una pregunta.
Yo te quiero preguntar, hacer el boom de a cada uno. Primero, a Mike le pregunto, ¿le gustaría poder interpretar más roles de ese estilo? Esta mentalidad de poder conocer a fondo a los que están en el corredor de la muerte. ¿Le gustaría interpretar esa tensión, esa psicología? Y a Michael, ¿le gustaría ver retratado más de sus personajes al estilo country, más en el terror, un country terror?
Gracias. I thank the gods, Jesus, this final question from John, because he kind of told me. First, for Mike, I know that you say that, and I hope, and Michael, please make it reality, that you can make a larger movie about Callahan, but man, you wanna portray another dead raw inmate, because it's the psychology, man. I don't know, do you wanna portray this type of character, but like in another death row situation, because we enjoyed this, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. Look, I like to act. If the story's there, it's there. I mean, it really was in this. It was a really good wraparound. I would love to expand more on the whole death row life of this killer or a killer. I think it would be fantastic, or even what put him there, and partial. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'd love to have a movie budget be in a budget where you could show the trial and all that shit too, because that would be sick too. You know, to really flesh out a character that immensely. But yeah, I will look. I like to act. I like to act, man. If it's there, it's there. You know, I'm making movies that I watched growing up and that I loved, and you know, it. Come on, that's a cool poster. This is an insanely cool poster. It's they're iconic. You know what I'm saying? There's scenes and moments that people will remember. I hope we'll remember little bits and pieces of this, and it maintains its relevance in pop culture. I think it really will, though. You know, that's what horror has everlasting, is that it really always stays pop culture. You know, I don't think the mainstream knows, you know, understands how important horror is, or the horror community. You know, every now and then they'll pump money into like a Scream or something else. But for the most part, horror's made most of these studios. And they always treat horror like it's the bad dog, but that's what really people want to watch now. You know, sci-fi and horror. You know, it's changing. I'm super stoked about that.
And before I do the question from Michael, because John got one, I will say two things. No, Mike, you're right, because horror is the one that made that A24 were possible. But for me, because we know that there is A24, there is Annapurna, and of course the Blumhouse, I love what is doing midnight releasing. For me, horror, in fact, I was talking with a beautiful friend, you know, in Colombia, cheats are beautiful, man, everywhere. One of my beautiful friends told me that, Andres, I watch horror, I don't care if it turns out funny or shitty or amazing. I just watch horror like I know that every horror movie got something unique, because you know that in drama, I will cry, but horror gets so many layers. And Michael, I hope you don't go, because John got an amazing question. And yes, like I told you, I watched the full movie, but I watched all the parts like an independent. And I really like those who like they got like a country or like you know, neighborhood horror or country horror. Do you want a kid? Yes, man, doing, because it's the question from John, these kind of folk tales or country tales. I don't know if John got the question right, but I really love, because the things that I love about the short stories, like I told you, I was enjoying the dialogues. I was enjoying, of course, the dark humor, the tones. But for me, it was like, man, I really don't want to live on those towns or those neighborhoods. Get me out there. So do you want to keep developing, like, yes, like these horror movies about towns or country? I don't know.
Well, I'm starting to get into other types of films. I'm starting to look into other genres, like, you know, like Dealings is more of a crime movie, and Day of the Pigs is sort of like a From Dusk Till Dawn fantasy. So I'm kind of branching off to start making other features with other types of twists, like Dealings and stuff like that, to where you're still going to be entertained, and just like Tarantino, you still may get like somebody's eyes, you know, pushed out of their sockets, but, you know, at the same time get kind of a different story. But I'll be honest, you know, like there may be still room for a volume 3 of Last American Horror Show, and, you know, there could be Callahan's story to finish the volume. You know, his prequel may be entry in volume 3, so you never know. But that's a big open possibility
Yeah.
that I may revisit and just finish off a trilogy of horror show volumes. And but at the same time, I got a lot of stuff in development right now, and I'm finishing up a movie right now with Sally Kirkland, and then I'm working with Eric Roberts next week on another film for Thunder Night LTD, another company out of Colorado. So, but I'm never gonna leave that that door closed on making a third horror show. So you may see a 3 coming up on the horizon.
Okay, Michael, please invite people to watch this movie, and we are going to take the picture. So, man, the camera is yours.
Who, me or Mike?
All right,
Michael.
guys.
Okay, Mike, go ahead, Mike. No, you, Mike.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah.
I want you to go out and watch Last American Horror Show Volume 2. Great movie by Michael. I had a great time working on this. I want you to also go watch Shadow Marsh. It's available right now. It's only available on DVD and VHS physical copy right now. Later in the summer, it will be streaming. But I want to say thank you guys. I want to say thank you to Michael for really giving me a beautiful spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it looks great, man. Like, I'm super honored to be in Last American Horror Show Volume 2. And it's available everywhere right now. The whole wide world. You guys again in Columbia, yeah? Yep, you got it, Columbia, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's right now. You go out and you go rent, buy, do whatever you have to do. Last American Horror Show Volume 2. Right now, I'm on the cover. It helps. Shadow Marsh, too, if you get a chance. And that's on 3keysmedia.com. Shadow Marsh is available for purchase.
The good thing is that we are going to see Ness, and of course, this channel is your house, man.
Yeah.
And I hope you see you later in Colombia. And
Oh, you will.
For me, this is a celebration from cinema. Bye-bye.
Tell them thank you. I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you to you, man.
Yes, thank you guys. Yeah, we love you guys.
All right, I'm going to go smoke a cigarette and a joint.
Okay, of course, man.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Los queremos. Chao.
Bye bye, Master.